Amen. Amen. Maybe that's all right now. No, stay. All right. As always, we solicit your prayers that you would pray with us and pray for us. That the Lord will use us for His honor and for His glory.
Amen.
There is a sweet, sweet spirit in here. Amen. You're a little quiet, but the spirit is still sweet.
Amen.
And I know it is the Spirit of the Lord. We have to be careful of the spirit of the other one.
Yes. Yes.
Because at every opportunity,
Yes, it is.
it tries to distract you. Now, it's up to you. See, you can succumb to the spirit of your flesh, or you can stay with the spirit of the Lord. It's not easy, because the flesh is a monster. It's not easy. And that's what I want to talk about, and that's what the scripture was talking about this morning. Led by the spirit or led by the flesh.
Amen.
I ain't gonna keep you long. Look at verse 5 again of the 8th chapter of Romans. First chapter, the 5th verse again. And here's what he says. He says, for those who live according to the flesh, set their minds on the things of the flesh. But those who live according to the spirit of things, of the spirit, live according to the spirit, the things of the spirit.
Amen.
Now jump all the way down to verse 9. And he says in the last part of 9, he said, now if anyone does not have the spirit of Christ, he's not his.
Amen.
I want to talk about led by the spirit or led by the flesh. If I had right now a real testimonial service, and I went around and asked the question, do you live by the spirit or do you live by the flesh? I would not be surprised at the answers I would get. Because if we are truth to ourselves,
That's right.
and if we're not 16 sharp, flesh will get in the way. Now, when flesh get in the way, you can't let flesh rule. Because in all instances, the flesh gonna get in the way. But we can't let it be our leader and our guide. I always like to deal with me first, because I look back
Yes, Lord.
at situations and circumstances I was in. And you know when you know God. And you know when you know flesh too. You know God as much as you know flesh. And I can remember so many times following flesh.
Come on, yes, Lord. Follow.
All right, I'm by myself. That's all right. I can at least be honest with myself. I follow flesh rather than follow spirit. Now listen here. You don't have to be honest with God, know better. There's a difference between following flesh as your leader and following spirit as your leader. Because the flesh will always get in the way. You can have some problem with that thing you call flesh. But let's look at what's happening now. I submit to every last one of you here. You can smile, you can cry, you can holler, but everybody in here today is involved in what we call spiritual warfare. It's real prevalent. Now, let's look at situation. Let's look at life. There's a fool that had a gun and testified that his objective was to kill Hispanics, whatever you want to call it. And I don't know how many killed, 9 of them.
29.
Now listen, folks, that's a fool with a mindset. That's completely flesh oriented.
Yes.
Come on.
You had another one did about the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, let me back up a little bit. You wonder why so much killing is in your neighborhood. Mine too.
That's right. That's right.
2 young friends was yesterday. The other one was a little bit, wasn't too but he didn't get killed. But two of them, I believe, was killings. Now, you look at school systems. So you see the devil real smart. Right. He have to go back and you look at him, examine him, you find out. You look at the history of it, why certain things are happening right now. It took prayer out of school. Right. Reason. They stopped whipping. All that corporate punch, whatever that is. Y'all still children need to be spanked. But anyway, the reason why they took it out, so you couldn't beat their children. They didn't want you to spank them. They didn't want you to spank them, but they didn't want you to spank them. Now, when they took prayer out of school, it became a mindset. First of all, listen. If you don't pray for yourself, fun with your children, they might do anything. When you take prayer out of the family structure, you got chaos. You don't have to believe me. Now move a little further. When you take prayer out of your life, you hear me? I said when you take prayer out of your life, you're led by the flesh rather than by the spirit. A lady told me one time, she said, "Rev, I can't stand a liar." Come on now. All right. Process this. Explain. She said, if somebody will lie, they'll cheat. They'll steal. Come on, preacher. And they'll kill. I thought about that. You know, lies in here, isn't it? All right. I was asking a question. See, I had to concur with her. Now, let me back up. Because I know when I was a liar, maybe y'all ain't never was a liar. So when I was a liar, that was my lifestyle. See, a lying person don't pray. Amen. You get somebody who can lie good. I met him and I know him. Be careful. Amen. See, here's the thing. The lady that was telling me this thing here, she knew that this person was a liar. And she just pretended to go along with it, but no, he wasn't nothing but a liar. So I'm saying now to myself, why do you want a liar? First of all, you shouldn't want a liar. Because anybody that's a liar will lead you according to the spirit that they follow. Now, if you're led by the spirit, I say if you're led by the spirit, you can lie, but you can't be a liar. Are you with me? Come on, you see, because anytime you are led by the flesh, and that's your leader, you'll never please God. You see, because anytime you're led by your flesh, it means you're selfish. Are you with me? So the Bible says, be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now watch this here. You see, if you don't have the Spirit of God, I said, if you don't have the Spirit of God, you're worse than a liar. All right. That ain't. All right. Amen. That ain't nothing that you wouldn't do. All right. Now listen, I know it's true. You can't talk about stuff you haven't experienced. All right. But I know for a fact that flesh will mislead you. Amen. All right, I'm by myself. Amen. You know, anytime you're led by your flesh, it will mislead you. Amen. because it's consumed with self.
All right.
It's not consumed with the Spirit. Now, when you're led by the Spirit, it leads you in a direction that pleases God.
Amen.
And so the writer here, he makes it real clear. I ain't made it up. This is what he says. He said, those who live according to the flesh set their minds on the things of the flesh.
Come on.
And so when you set your mind on your flesh, that flesh that likes nothing but self, that flesh that wants to please self, that flesh that wants everything for self, it will put you in a whole lot of troubles. But watch this here. Going back to praying school, listen, when you teach your child how to pray, based on you praying, here's what happens. When you put God in the mix, it changes your spirit. It gives you a desire to want to have your spirit in subjection unto God. You can talk all you want to talk, but prayer changes things. Watch this here. When you get ready to go to the house of God, if you don't pray, you might not come. Because a lot of folks didn't come today because they didn't pray. And look here, the devil always tell you to do what's unpleasing to God. I don't feel like going this morning. I don't feel like giving no tithe this morning. I don't feel like seeing. You don't know what you might see. You come to the house of God, you might be your miracle. This might be your day. And so look at here. Prayer. What we got to understand is that when we put prayer in our lives, it gives us power. I said give you power. Because every now and then, you know, sometimes when situations, circumstances don't look right and you want to tell a lie. Well, I found out it don't work. That's why I'm paying the government back right now for telling lies. You know, anything you put on your taxes, you got to be able to verify it. And so I'm saying to myself now, you know, when I'm getting a little extra money, I say as well, as long as they don't catch me, I'm all right. But when they catch you, it makes you wish you had told the truth. Because look at here, you can run but you can't hide. And when you live a lie, it'll come back to find you. And when it finds you, you'll find out it do more damage than good. You ain't got to tell me because I know. Have you ever told a lie? And it had to come back and slap you in your face. Look at here. First of all, you ought to talk to God. Every situation and circumstance in your life, you ought to talk to God. But look at here. I'm so glad that God will never mislead us. And look at here. Now look at here. You got to have it. You see, if you ain't got the Spirit of Christ on the inside, you can't help but do wrong. And look at here. Amen. Well, look at here. You know how much fun it is to do? Well, okay, I'm by myself here. But boy, oh boy, it seemed like, boy, when you were doing wrong, it's a whole lot of fun. Now, knowing what's right and knowing what's wrong. But it seemed like wrong always seemed better than doing what's right. And so look at here. All right, look at me strange. Like you don't do that. You see, the Lord always lead God and direct His children. He tells us what's right, and we listen or don't listen. It's just like talking to children, because children always think they know better than parents. We think we know better than God. You can't rationalize with God. If God said it, that's it. It's amen. Now, here's a problem with this. Children, when you're disobedient, you get punished. Amen. Oh yeah, sometimes you slick and you get away, but look at here. When you're led by that little flesh of yours, and you let that little flesh rise up, and they tell you that you know more than mom and daddy. All Just wait, because you don't. They outsmart you every time. Well, the same thing with God. When you think you're smarter than God, when you think you can do what you want to do and get away with it, no, he got a word for you. Don't be deceived, for he ain't mock. Whatever we sow, that's what we reap. And here's what happens. Lord, here's what happens. When the spirit of the world gets a hold of you, it don't turn loose so easy. Oh yeah, no. It don't turn. See, doing wrong is very addictive. Oh yeah. You say, I can stop anytime I want to. All right. Wrong or right, you have to be careful. You have to be led by the Spirit rather than by the world. You know, let me go out there on a limb. You know, I like to play scratch-offs.
All right. All right.
Oh, you holy moly, you gonna play. That's all right. I ain't mad. I ain't mad at me for it. But. There's something to that thing. I'll tell you why I quit, because something to that thing. The devil had me. Yes, he did. You see, anytime you're doing something that ain't kosher with God, the devil make it real prosperous for you. Every time I scratch off, boy, for a minute. I got a high off of it. Oh man, I spent $500. Well, I took that money, put it in the drawer, and wait. Well, I go back to the store. I want that same feeling again. I want to hit another 500, and before I know that, the whole 500 going back. And so I go get me some more money. And I go back to the store, and I get more luck. When the devil get a hold to you, he don't want to turn it loose. Now, I know y'all not like that, but listen, it's an addiction. Oh, I know it's addiction. You ain't got to tell me. Now listen, some people are stronger than others. But my friend named Timothy, he told me, he said, listen, I used to drink liquor and party and have a good time and go to church. He said, but one time I took crack, cocaine, and he said, when I hit that thing, I'm telling you the truth. He said it made me feel like I've never felt before. I said, what you said? He said, man, it made me feel better than a woman. I said, boy, that's you in trouble. Look at here. It made him feel that good until he got hooked on it. I ain't making this up. He got hooked on it, didn't he? Some things you better not try. Because the devil always make you feel good when you're doing what you're not supposed to be doing. And look at here, you always feel bad later. The bad part of the Bible is right here. Boy, when you know God, look at here. When you know God, you know we ain't no robots. You know you got a thing called flesh. And there's some thing called flesh. There's some things you... That's right. Well, since I'm out, let me go stay here. Look at here. I can't drink.
Yeah. That's not right.
That don't mean I didn't like to drink. I can't drink. One more drink make me feel so good. I just want one more. And one more. And one more. Everybody can't handle it. See, some people take a little wine. You know, some of y'all can do that. I don't know how to do that. And so if I drink a little wine, look out. Telling no joke. See, I understand. Look at here. The first time my daddy was dying, I went to the doctor. I was depressed. He said, Reverend Sam, a little wine won't hurt you. A little bit. He said, a little bit. I said, the doctor said so. So I went and got some good wine. And I took a whip of it. And before I know it, I drank the whole bottle. And listen here. When I drank the whole bottle, all kind of old things came back in my mind. I know it don't sound funny to you, but look at here. It reminds me of all the things things I used to do. Oh, it's too much alcohol will make you think you 16 and all that in a bag of chips. And so it make you want to do the things that you used to do. Look at here. But I'm so glad that my conversion was pure. And God will always bring you back. You hear what I'm saying? You got the Spirit of God on the inside. He'll let you fall down. But he'll reach way back down, pick you back up again, and still give you power. But when I said, when you got the spirit of the world, he'll take you way out. He'll take you out so far until you forgot where you come from. But I'm so glad that there's a prodigal son in me. And when I got in the hog pen, I had enough sense. I said I had enough sense to look back and look at here. When God finds you, you got to always look back to where he brought you from. And if you can remember, I said if you can remember where God brought you from, he'll take you right back to that same spot. And when you take you back that same spot, you realize that without God, you hear what I'm saying? Without God, I'm nothing. Without the Spirit of God, I'll be a fool. But I'm so glad. I said, I'm glad that I only one Friday evening, unfit to live and ashamed to die, met my God. And he light a fire down in my spirit. And when he light a fire in the spirit, look at here. You can fall down, but there is a spirit of racism in America.
Amen.
Now, Trump didn't start it. He just promoted it, but he didn't start it.
Yes, that's all it is. Bring it back.
Now, because he's the president and have the kind of influence that he got,
Come on, preacher.
these fools feel justified doing what they do. Are you with me?
Yes.
It's a spirit.
Amen.
It is.
But now listen, you think I'm blaming him? Huh? See, because listen, we kill more of each other
That's right.
than they did in all the wars. Vietnam, oh, we kill more of each other. Now, they put a spirit in our neighborhoods. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it. But I remember when folks used to drink liquor and wine. It never stopped them from going to church. Never stopped them from serving God. Never stopped them from working. But when they put that crap in our neighborhoods, young brothers and sisters stopped going to church. Crack became their God.
All right.
Now, one thing you got to understand, it couldn't have got there by just us. Yeah, no, they put it there. And listen, here's the problem. You're trying to rationalize with a fool. It's hard to make sense to a fool. Because listen, you approach him with spiritual things that don't make sense to him. Man, y'all believing that God stuff. It's kind of foolishness. You know. Listen, they got stuff that'll make you forget God.
Amen. All right.
Yes,
Listen, rationalize with me. It makes sense. Why are you killing your brother for nothing? Give me some justification. Why? Do you think that somebody deserves to be dead just because they've messed up some of your money? See, there's a spirit of jealousy.
Amen. Amen.
That keeps us from coming together. That's a spirit, folks. That's not the spirit of Christ. The spirit of God is love, peace, joy. There's a spirit that keeps us not liking one another.
All right.
There's a spirit that you're not liking yourself. See, you can't follow God and flesh. It just won't work. You just can't do it.
Come on, preacher.
And listen, when flesh takes over,
Come on now.
it runs the show.
All right.
That's right. Follow.
You can hear God speaking, and it won't make no sense to you.
Come on now.
Do you follow your leader?
Jesus.
And if you think I'm joking, just look around your neighborhood.
All right.
There's spiritual warfare going on.
Yes, it is.
And the sad part about it is that the devil has no respect for God.
All right.
He knows his time is up.
Come on now.
Listen, when you get that spirit, you don't care about nobody but you. Let me read this number through. Here's what Paul was saying. Paul was saying this thing on the basis of people having known God. And the things of the world attract them so much until they realize that they figure, well, listen, I don't need God. See, a lot of people do that.
Come on now.
You love God when you're poor. Soon you get your hands on something. Later for that. Paul said, for those who live, see, live. You see, Epstein, is that his name? He committed suicide.
Yeah.
In jail.
Yeah, Jesus.
For those who live according to the flesh, they set their minds on the things of the flesh. Those who live according to the spirit, the things of the spirit. Watch what he says now. I ain't making it up. He said, for to be carnally minded is death,
Come on, preacher.
but to be spiritual minded is life and peace. Why? Here's the reason. Because the carnal mind is enmity against God, but it's not subject to the law of God.
Come on now.
No, indeed, can't be. The Bible says there is a spiritual war going on within us,
Come on, preacher.
flesh and spirit.
Yes, sir.
And so you got to serve one.
Yes, sir.
Nobody can serve two masters. He says, when I'm closing at this, so then, this is what he's saying. Those who are in the flesh cannot will not please God. Now, that message shouldn't resonate with people of God. It should just be a warning.
Amen.
That's all. Because listen, every last one of us get out of line sometime.
That's right.
That's just flesh. Be straight.
Yes.
But if you straight to the point, here's I'm closing. When you straight to the point where you don't feel like praying,
Come on now.
that is when you straight to the point you don't feel like talking to God,
Yes.
you're in trouble.
Follow.
See, because it is talking with Him that make nonsense sensible.
That's right now.
See, because some things with God don't make no sense. They don't have to.
Follow.
See? Because God knows how to work things out way beyond our understanding.
Amen. Amen.
See, we want to do things based on how we see things and how we understand. God says no. Yeah, God give us some hard things to do.
Amen.
He said, love those who despitefully use you. Pray for your enemies. Love them.
Yes, Lord.
And folks who are not spiritual don't compute that.
Holler.
You do me, I get you back. All that foolishness. See?
You better tell that.
It does not equate with the Spirit of God. It tells us to love our neighbors like we love ourselves. We got to be spiritually led to that.
Yeah.
You know, the Bible tells us to give. You got to be spirit led to that. Anybody stingy is flesh led.
Yes.
Anybody who love the neighbor is flesh led.
That's right.
And flesh led can be very satisfying.
All right.
But it's only for a season. Believe me. Because at some point in this life, you're going to need somebody. Oh, yeah, you can be as tough and standoffish as all you want to. But at some point in this life, you're going to need somebody.
Yes, sir.
And no man's island. Nobody stands alone. You know. And I just thought about what the lady said yesterday at the funeral. She was talking about class. She was talking about brother, I'm finished. And she says, when this fellow thought he loved her sister, she didn't like him. He had a menial job. My sister was a college grad. He had a menial job. And she came from a middle class. This fellow came from a lower class.
Yeah.
But he fell in love with his sister, and her sister fell in love with him. And she was talking about how she didn't want to accept him at first.
All right.
How dare you marry my sister and not consult the family? In other words, you ain't good enough.
All right.
But then she comes to the conclusion, I will quote it. She said, he was the best thing ever happened to her.
All right.
Because he loved her, and he loved God.
Yeah.
And that was to say, listen, I could have got him, she could have got old high class, middle class, whatever person, and he could have abused her, treated her like a dog.
That's right.
But he was spirit led, rather than flesh led. And so, a lot of times we make mistakes like that.
Amen.
Because we get involved with flesh-led people. Now, if you get a flesh-loving person who is led by the flesh, then what did you expect?
There you go.
Huh? What do you expect? Huh? You expect him to act spiritual when he's not spiritual?
All right.
Huh? I'm thinking.
Amen.
Oh!